Flawless transformation! That was a henshin for the ages. Anyway, I'm Gazbot. This is my Power Morphicon roundup thingamajig. This is day 0, day 1/2, whatever you're gonna call it. This is the prelude. This is the onslaught. I'm getting ready. So I'm filming this right now. After the whole thing's over, there's going to be a series of videos. The others will be more at the show what's going on. But basically, here's what's going on with this. It's me getting ready. I'm selling art at Power Morphicon for the first time. I go to a lot of conventions, but I've never sold at this convention. But I'm also a fan, so I'm going to get a little fan stuff in. And I even ended up bringing my cosplay. So I was kind of doing 3 different things at once. I went on a road trip with the big dog. So this is me getting ready for the show, getting some prints made, and heading down there with the big dog. This is day 0, day 1/2, and then the next one will be day 1 for real. So let's see what happens. What do you say? Hey, what's up? It's me, Gazbot. I'm just catching up on some Die Ranger. That's right, Super Sentai, the forerunner to Power Rangers. Power Rangers? Power Morphicon. That's right, Power Morphicon's coming up, and I've been hard at work making new artwork for it. Let's check out my work. So dramatic. On this Kiba Ranger from Die Ranger, aka Tommy the White Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, headshot. My cat is in the way. They're very excited.
And here's the headshot. Now, this could be Tommy the White Ranger, but it could also be Ko the Kiba Ranger. Both actors were going to be there. So I had this headshot as part of a Tommy set and a Mighty Morphin set, but again, also because of Kiba Ranger. And on same theme, I've had a Dragon Zord Green Ranger print for a while, but I had never done a White Ranger Tiger Zord print. Now, this one is kind of technically more American because it has the Falcon Sword in back, which is not from Die Ranger. And then here's a Megazord, which was a kind of a rough sketch I'd done back for March of Robots, but I cleaned it up, colored it, and made that a print as well for the show. I did many prints. Those were the 2 big ones, and I did a lot of headshots too.
All right, so today is Wednesday. Tomorrow, driving to Power Morphicon, setup, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the show. I need a haircut, a shave, a shower, though you can't tell that, luckily. I'm going to transform myself into a lovely vision for the people. And presto! I have shaved, I have cut my hair, I have changed my shirt, but also cleansed my body. I'm in the garage preparing to head out. Well, that's not true. I have to go get some prints made, then I'm going to pack up, then I'm going to head out. So I'm here to just pick up some paper stock to bring to the printer because they never have the paper stock I like, so I buy it separately, and yada, yada. Paper stock! Hey, here we are. I'm driving. I'm pulling out. I got my prints made at FedEx. Getting prints made is such... I have not figured out the formula. I keep thinking I found the best way, and then something changes. And basically, the way I do it now is I have a couple different sizes of prints, which is a mistake, but I do. I should have 2. I should have a large and a small, but I have a couple middle ones, but that's neither here nor there. The big ones are 11 by 17, and theoretically I get them printed, 1 sheet done, and I allow it so that they're not full bleed, so it has a thin white border, so I don't have to worry about that. It saves me a little money, it saves me a little effort. The smaller ones I've been doing lately are 9 by 6, they're headshots, and I print 2 up on 11 by 17, and then have them cut down, and they also have a white border. This is when I'm going to a print shop. When I'm not going to a print shop, when I have more time, I've been going through catprint.com, and it costs a little bit more because of shipping and things like that, but I know what I'm going to get, and they don't, you know, it never has problems with the, hold on, right? But when I go through catprint.com, the difference is that I know I can set everything up perfectly. I know exactly what I'm going to get. There's no mistakes, sort of. The last print I did, they came out a little bit darker than I'd like. And I'm not 100% sure. I used to work always RGB and then change, because when I'm working digitally with color, and then change it to CMYK for print. Sometimes I'd bring it to places and they'd be fine with RGB or even prefer RGB. Local places, that is. Now, I know CMYK is what it's supposed to be, but again, I get mixed messages from the various printers who might not know what they're talking about or might have weird setups or might be used to dealing with people that do RGB even though they're supposed to do CMYK. Regardless, Catprint has been good, except a few times things have come out a little dark, which may or may not be my fault. I have to investigate that. Because I've been trying to work CMYK more recently, but some of the files might have been older before I started doing that way, and I did a transfer over, which makes it darker, or maybe my monitor's not calibrated. But locally, usually the advantage is immediacy. The one is immediacy. I save on shipping, so usually it ends up being cheaper, and I'm supporting local business in my town, which I like. but I often have problems. Case in point, went to FedEx. Well, one problem was my fault is I ran out of paper. They never have the paper I want, so I have to buy it from a different place, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But I was getting a lot of prints done, so I saved, the main one I was getting was a white Tiger Zord from Power Rangers, and I knew that I was gonna want the most of that, 100 or more, you know? So I did all the other prints, and I said, give me, you know, 160 of this last. But when they got to last, it only made about 79, 80 of them, which is fine. It's probably more than I need for this weekend, but I figured I'd just knock them all out. But okay, that was my fault, no big deal. Again, if I went through cat print, there's no paper limit, but whatever, that was my mistake. Here's the bigger problem though. They did the small 2-ups, they cut them perfectly, great. They printed, I like to get my info printed on the back of the 11x17s. They did that, great. So what was the problem? The problem was twofold. With the 11x17s, I knew there would be a white border and I was fine with that, but for some reason it's uneven. On both of them, one edge of it is a little thicker than the others. Now, there's one that's vertical, meaning up and down, which is the White Ranger one, and has a little bit of a thicker border on the bottom. I can live with that. It's not what I would prefer, but you know, compositionally, artistically, if you're gonna have it, that's the way to do it. The other one though is horizontal this way, and one side just randomly has a little bit wider border, which I don't like. Again, I can't do anything about it. I'm out of paper, I'm out of time. Again, I should plan these things more ahead. And 99.9% of people buying aren't even gonna notice, but I notice and I hate it. So that was one issue. And as I was looking at it, I realized that there was another issue, because when I print the ones to be cut out, I print to size, meaning the exact size it is, you print it that way and it'll come out whatever. But then there's one called fit to size or print, I'm mixing up my terminology now. But basically you want it to fit to the page. So it'll shrink it by like 1% so that everything fits on the page and you get that white border, which is what I described I wanted. I said for these ones, print them the exact size because I'm gonna cut them out and I know there's a border and that's fine, I'm gonna cut it out. But for the 11x17s, I want them printed to fit the page so that there'll be a white border around them. And he said, okay, but obviously there was a miscommunication. Either he misunderstood or he put the wrong thing in, because both of them were not printed that way. And so it did have a white border, which I expected. It was uneven on one side, which I did not expect. And further and worse than the uneven border, in my opinion, is that they were not shrunk a percentage or so. Instead, they were trimmed like a 1/8 of an inch, a 1/16 of an inch, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not. And it didn't ruin them, and I could still sell them. And again, 99.9% of people buying them won't notice. They won't notice, A, because it's such a minute compositional thing that only artists would usually notice. They might subconsciously perceive it, but the other thing is they don't know what it was supposed to be, whereas I do. And it's just about the space between the bottom of the character's foot and where the page was supposed to end. There should have been a little bit more negative space there, things like that. The tip of the Falcon Zord in the background's wing is touching the edge of the page, which I wouldn't like it to do. But it is, but they didn't know that, you know, people buying it don't know that. So I pointed this out to the guy and I'm like, I don't know what we could do about this. I realized we're out of paper, but this was printed off, you know, one of the borders is wider. Do you know why that is? And he's like, I don't know why I did that. I'm like, I did on this one too. He's like, on both? He's like, yeah, and he was sympathetic, but he didn't really have an answer on that. And then on the other part, he said, you know, oh, well, I did. I printed it, you know, print to size or print the exact size. Again, I'm mixing up the terminology. I knew it when I was there. Print exact size, I think is the thing. And I said, yeah, but we talked about that's not what I wanted. He's like, oh, this and that. And so he was helpful, and basically what he said was, well, we can't do anything. Well, he did offer to trim the 11x17 down to be even. I'm like, I don't want that. I want it to be 11x17. I don't want 11 by, you know, 16.85 or some weird size like that. Because I have bags and boards and consistency, and I might sell it with another print and they might get framed. I didn't tell him all this. It's just what I'm thinking. I'd rather have it be a slightly wider margin than be a different size, weird paper. But I said, like, there's nothing really I could do. But he saw the issue and he's like, well, how about if I give you a customer satisfaction discount? And I'm like, okay, how much is that? And he said 25%. He said, like, would that help? I'm like, that would help. That would help a lot. So I'm in a situation where the product I got is not ideal. It's not exactly what I wanted, the quality-wise, but I did get it for a substantially cheaper price than I thought, because he gave it off my whole order, not just the ones that were messed up. So my total order for all the prints and cuts and everything I just got done was gonna be in the neighborhood of $200, a little under $200, and instead it was around $150. So, you know, that's a nice savings. Now, would I have voluntarily said, hey, I'll pay $50 less and you can mess this up? No, because I wanted it to be a certain way and I want that quality for the people buying it from me. But being that I'm in the situation I am and I can't do anything about it, and again, this is all stuff that bothers me, but probably most people will not even notice. Most people don't even care what kind of paper it's on, you know, like they just think it's a cool picture and great, you know, but I try to balance what people will notice versus what I care about, and this is like the middle ground of the quality I'm okay with. But saving the $50 does help, because that means it lowers my overall cost on all of these prints and, you know, whatever. So anyway, but again, local printers, I often have trouble like this, where, because most of the time they're not doing art prints, they're doing like presentations for the school board and, you know, spreadsheets for office buildings and stuff. So little minute things like that wouldn't really matter as much, like a slight color difference or you know, that kind of stuff. So it's tough, because I like supporting local business. I save money, and really, at the end of the day, even if I didn't care about local business or saving money, I have to do this sometimes for time frame. If I want to have a print for a certain show, I might not have a week or more to send away for it. So I don't see this problem going away anytime soon, but it does encourage me to plan ahead more and use online even more than I do now. So anyway, I'm done with the prints, so it's done. I'm good to go. I'm just venting a little bit because I'm not angry, I'm just a little disappointed. And again, probably no one will notice, but I do. All right, I'm gonna go start packing up the car, or packing up the boxes to pack up the car, whatever. So I recently bought some more Tupperware, including shots, and then these two, which are more 11 by 17 narrow. I thought I would get rid of this, but I didn't. I did have a big cardboard box I got rid of, but I didn't make as much room as I thought I would. This is everything I'm bringing. Now, this is not a condensed set. This is not a flying set. This is, since we're driving, I'm bringing everything I have, Power Rangers or not. Still, I can tell I have some more condension, some making my things condensed before I'm at optimal, and I feel like I'll never be at optimal. Man, I'm sweating. All right, so I'm all packed up, all of my art supplies. I don't have my clothes and things like that, and I'm on the fence about whether or not I'm gonna bring my cosplay armor set, because I don't know how much I'm gonna use it, and it's a big thing. But that's done. I'm gonna go inside, pack, have some dinner.
At the big dog's house, put on some Die Ranger. I have only watched the first couple episodes of this season, so we skipped ahead to watch the introduction of Tiger Ranger, so I would be familiar with the actor's work if I ended up running into him. I hate working out of ignorance or meeting people who I don't know their work, so there was that. And then we watched a little Time Force and some Jungle Fury being one of my favorite seasons. And there's Anna Hutchinson, who is probably my favorite Yellow Ranger. At least, yeah, she's definitely in my top 3, but off the top of my head, she's my favorite. There's always an intensity to her. This is her as some like evil version, so this is kind of a weird one that the big dog picked to watch. But anyway, we were catching up on our Sentai, catching up on our Power Rangers, having a good time before the road trip the next day. It was a good way to spend it. As you can see, I was much more attentive than the big dog. I think he was looking up toy prices because while I was there to sell art and have fun and do other things, he's mostly there to have fun, but he was going to bring some of his toys to sell on groups. He wasn't selling at a table, but just to trade with people and stuff.
For bed, in a bed that's not my own, in my friend's sister's bed. It's odd. But tomorrow, we will feast and drive. What? I don't know.
In the morning, some last-minute packing. The big dog was trying to find some morphers and weapons that he might want to use for pictures or get signed. I am behind on the Shattered Grid storyline, which is amazing. I recommend it to people, even if they're not into Power Rangers. It's a really good story. But I knew there would be huge spoilers at the show if I didn't. I was only like 2 episodes behind, but I had to catch up.
We am go. Go, go, go. Stopped at Target. This is not a still picture. And we're getting toys already. So we can't buy anything at Power Morphicon now.
Jazz has 3 things.
3.
On him.
That's it, done. It's the trifecta. It's the trio. It's the trinity. 3. Oh, it's left and right. You can't do ollies and stuff.
Oh, you can't get back?
No, there's no... Oh, this is lame. It's just racing. There's no tricks and stuff. You know the game I was talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. I'm inside Taco Bell waiting for the big dog. We're getting ready to head back out on the road. We got about 2.5 hours left to go. This was our second break to get a little snack foods because we're not gonna have time to dinner when we get in. We're gonna be getting in late, possibly loading in, maybe seeing Austin St. John. Maybe not, but we're gonna be getting in late. But the point is, I was gonna go outside and do a little update, but it's like 107 or something, and my eyes started bleeding and I lost control of my bowels, so I came back inside. People live here, if you could call it living. About an hour and a half away, not including if traffic gets worse or any more stops, which will get us in at 7:30 to the convention center. They have loaded until 8, which we're probably not gonna make. Austin St. John has an event until 9. It's possible we'll make it, we're probably not going to, but we're stopping at Walmart, and I'm gonna throw these away. Please do. There's a Toys R Us, which is dead, because sadness. I feel like that may have been a mistake not getting that. No, I'm fine. Well, we're cruising now, right into LA traffic.
Ironic, because this reminds me of Operation Overdrive. It's slow as shit. Shade thrown.
Go Zio! Go Zio! Zio! Power Rangers! So we're at the Hilton in the parking garage. It's 8:30. Austin St. John is gonna be there till 9. We're gonna try to get in. Who knows if there's a line. Maybe we'll just walk in the room and go, hey, there he is. Maybe we'll get some photos or signatures. Maybe we missed it. But anyway, it's happening on level 4. But we are on it's a bummer that they're not even like no ASJ, no Austin St. John. We got there around 8:20, 8:30. It's supposed to go till 9. It did go to 9, but we were informed it looked like there was a line. Hey, is this the line? And the line was cut off. The room was closed. So if you weren't already online, you couldn't get a picture, you couldn't get an autograph, you couldn't be in the room, unfortunately. So we sat there with the other hopefuls thinking maybe he'll come out and wave at people, or, you know, you can film him or take a selfie, one of those, like he's walking by, there he is, you know. At around 9 on the dot, he did come out, but he came out a different door with some security and was like, stealthily, good for him, he got out, but everyone's like, well, I guess we missed it. So that was it, our big adventure. Now we're going to downtown Disney. Look at this glamour. Socks and sandals, burps. Yep.
So this is us walking. Right to the right off camera was Bruno and Mia from MMPR Toys. We kind of walked by them like 3 times, but didn't want to bother them. / they had someone already talking to them. But we didn't have good signal, and we ended up walking all the way around the convention center. It was sweaty hot. We were drenched, and we walked for about an hour, which should have taken us 20 minutes. It was not great. The GPS and other signals were terrible the whole time.
The thunder of the mouse. It calls to the heavens. That smells good. That's an elephant. I didn't know, but Big Tom told me. Elephant. Yeah, we're half a mile down the road from the official Power Morphicon hotel, but we're staying in Extended Stay America. I guess we're patriotic for an extended period of staying. It's cheaper. So we're back to our room, which we're changing. Oh, look, a nice fridge and a little kitchenette. Weird that there's no rug. Single bed. We're supposed to have 2 beds. We got 1. Okay, that's not great, not what we asked for. But also, look at this. Can you see it? Splish, splash, we were taking a bath. Garbage. This is what we get when we get the discount. Garbage.
Very much.
All right, so it is Wednesday night. We are in the correct hotel room with 2 beds. This one does have a rug. No water on the floor. Somebody's doing jumping jacks upstairs, even though it's after midnight. Fine, whatever. I'm exhausted. Both exhausted. We walked around a lot. We went to try to go to downtown Disney. Went the wrong way. It's super humid. Sweated our butts off. Couldn't get into downtown Disney because Alex had a pocket knife on him, and you can't bring that in, and he didn't want to throw it away, so we didn't do that. We went and ate at Denny's. Yes, good. And then we came back here and got this room, and the guy didn't even apologize, and I guess you get what you pay for when you come to Discount Inn. That fridge over there opens the wrong way. It looks like you should pull it and it opens, but it's the handle by the door, and I'm just complaining a lot, and that's fine. But look at this. Hasn't even started. Here's my haul. Not Power Ranger related, but at a Target, got multiple man Wolverine, and for my wife, I got Vulpix, which is a crystal fox, which the big dog pointed out is kind of like Vulpix from Pokemon. I don't know if it's a copy, but it's crystal fox. It's a good one. Good. I just realized I'm in the room alone. The big dog, I thought he was in the bathroom, but he's not. Look, he's coming in. He wasn't here. I didn't know you were gone. Did you say you were leaving?
I believe I did.
I was not paying attention.
Yeah.
And with that bit of me not paying attention, this will end on this thrilling cliffhanger for the lead into day one, which starts late, so we end up doing a few things before we actually go into the convention center on day one. You can tell my voice is a little hoarse. Today is Wednesday, and I'm still kind of hungover. Not that I was drinking and partying, but just getting no sleep and being awake and talking constantly. Whenever I come off a big show like this, I always feel drained and my throat hurts and life gets on top of me and I say, I'll fight you, but it takes energy, and then afterwards I'm flu. What am I talking about? I don't know. Tune in next time for day one of Power Morphicon 2018 with me, Gazbot, and a little bit of Big Dog, a little bit of the Big Dog. A big bit of the little dog.